Hey y'all, so I can officially say that this is the longest I have ever gone in my garden without these guys. And you all know I've been working on doing something to fix that. But now I'm going to take it to the next level. So these are Zebra Longwing butterflies. They are Florida state butterfly. They are beautiful. They're the most delicate flyers, and they can fly through a shrub like the TIE fighters flying through the Death Star, if you know what I mean. So it's concerning to me that I don't have very many, and you all know I took some in and I'm raising them to release. But what if they all fly off? Then I'm out of luck, right? I don't have any more eggs. I don't have any more babies. So I'm gonna try something I normally do not do. And that is to set up a bigger enclosure in my garden room so that when they eclose from their chrysalis, they'll have space to fly around. And I'm going to keep them in there a little longer than I usually do because the zebra longwings do something called pupil mating, which is when the males literally camp out beside the female chrysalide. They know it's a female. And before she can even get all the way eclosed, they attach and, they do their thing. And so I'm thinking, well, since they do that, maybe I'll keep them a little bit longer and get some eggs and then release them. So I'm going to set up like a little mini habitat with potted nectar plants and everything that they would need just to see. Now, normally I would not do this because butterflies have a short lifespan. And I want butterflies to get to spend every moment they can flying because I think it's just got to be so fabulous. And if you only have 2 weeks to do it, I want them to get all their moments. I don't ever bring butterflies in, and as soon as they're strong enough to release, I release them. But the zebra longwings have a much longer lifespan than your other everyday butterflies because they are able to digest proteins from pollen, which I've talked about in previous videos. And so they can live for months. So keeping them a few extra days to get some eggs to help the population, it's worth a try. We're going to try it. You're not eating one of my plants, are you? Are you eating one of my plants? Huh? Hey, sir. Mister. He's completely ignoring me. Ringo. Ringo. Hey, are you eating one of my plants? Are you eating one of my plants? So this is their current enclosure. It's just one of the little ones because they don't normally raise these guys. But again, when we want to get their population going again, we do what we have to do. So I'm just going to move all of them into the new setup, except one who's already pupated. You can see the little chrysalis swinging in there. I'm going to leave that one in here. This is one of my older enclosures, and I cleaned it out, hosed it off, sprayed it down, and it's all dried and ready to use. But I'm not going to keep it upright. I'm going to lay it on its side. I'm also going to put this on the bottom because butterflies have a hard time climbing up this plastic stuff. They can't get a good grip on it. So that's going to go on the bottom. So when it's turned on its side like this, it kind of caves in. And so I'm going to go find a dowel or a stake to put in there to support it and keep it not sagging in. All right, I found a stake. It's one of those little bamboo stakes, and it looks like it's going to be a little tall. So what I'll do is I'll just trim it off. But also the bottom is going to be poking the plastic, and I don't want it to put a hole in it. So I have this little board I'm just going to lay in there for this to rest on. Let me go get it together and you'll see what I mean. Okay, here we go. See, it's resting on there, and it holds everything up, so when I come in and out, it's not collapsing down. Okay, now I'm just going to lay paper towels in on the bottom to collect the frass. It's like a little tent in there. Isn't that cute? Okay, let me go get the caterpillars and start moving them in. Look how cute they all are in there. They've gotten so big. I just put some new cuttings in. I'll show you how I assemble their little cuttings holders, because, well, I'll explain that in a minute. Let's get these guys moved, and then I'll put together some more cuttings for them. So you can, for these guys, I like to put them up on top of something, the cuttings, because I've noticed they like to climb down underneath. You can see there's one who's pupated under there. That's a chrysalis for Zebra Longwing. And it also, like when the caterpillars come down from the plants, they can crawl along these, and it just keeps them out of the frass. I like to keep them up and out of where the frass might be. Frass is caterpillar poop. So these guys ate all of their leaves. So when I did some new cuttings this morning, you'll see I'll put it in so the new leaves go all into those stems, and then they can just climb on. Look how big they're all getting. All my babies. See how I'll just kind of tuck that stem over the empty stem, and there they're all intermingled. Make it real easy to get onto the new leaves. And I'm gonna leave this enclosure here. I just put a rock in to weigh it down in case there's a strong wind, because we have this guy that's J hanging and about to pupate, and then we have this guy who's already in chrysalis form, so they'll just stay here. All right, we're gonna go out through the garden and look for some fresh cuttings to bring in, and I'll show you how I put them together, because I'm trying to do two things with these cuttings, which we'll talk about when I put them together. The host plant that I use for them is Passiflora incense. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I had the Maypop Mansion. It was right there, and it was a crop cage that was literally overgrown with passiflora incense, and Hurricane Milton destroyed it. So I've got a lot of passiflora incense growing back, and I've got it all over my garden. So I'm not worried that I'm not going to have enough, but I actually do want to come out and trim off these yellow leaves. I can trim some of them now. And then it'll force some fresh growth. That's not our purpose here, but you know me, I get distracted easily. Like, while I'm here, let me trim off some of these yellowing leaves. And you can see there is, like this right here, some fresh growth. But I don't want to take all the fresh growth because these ends right here, that's where the zebra longwings lay their eggs. And the Gulf fritillary butterflies too will lay some towards the end on the fresher leaves. So I don't want to take all of it. Let me keep moving down. Oh, here I go. Well, let's just trim. You know, if I trim it now while I don't have them, you'll have time to grow back for when they are here. So really, I should be doing this now. Okay, so this is that one really healthy looking one. I don't want to take it. And everything else here, look! Do you see him? Oh, we're taking him in. Look, it's a baby Gulf fritillary caterpillar. Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful to see. These guys also host on passiflora incense, and I'm also raising some of them as well. But I do see one here and there in my garden, so they're not completely gone like the zebra longwings are. Oh my gosh, what a great find. Okay, let's keep going. Look, I found another one. Oh my gosh, y'all, this video is going to turn into something else. Do you remember that day I came out? We were searching for them. Couldn't find any. Now I'm not searching for them. And look, oh my goodness, now I'm checking every leaf I trim. Okay, the people behind me started with their power tools, so I'm not going to film much more out here, but I want to show you this. This is the new growth that will come out. So I'm going to continue trimming. I'll let you know if I find anybody else, and I'll be back. Okay, they stopped for a second. So look at this whole stem. I'm leaving the stem, and I'm just trimming off all those dying yellowing leaves, and I'm checking for caterpillars. And then these stems will grow back and push out new growth. So this whole stem here, you can see I trimmed off all the dead, and there's a lot of little new coming off. And now, look at that little new growth right there. Now I can take this whole stem and I'm going to stretch it all the way down so it'll spread down further. It's hard to do that because I'm still holding these guys. The other day I was filming one-handed because I was shoveling. Today I'm filming one-handed because I'm holding caterpillars in the other hand. This is one of the main thick stems coming out. So I'm really being careful not to trim any of that, but to really clean up, like this little dead piece coming off here. Clean up all of that. This is going to grow back beautifully. I'm so glad I'm doing this. Thank you guys for inspiring me. So you guys, this was some tedious work, but let me tell you, I'm so glad I did it because we're going to have a lot of fresh, rich, green, healthy passiflora incense growing along this fence. And hopefully it will be just in time to feed a bunch of caterpillars and give a place for them to lay their eggs. But because I trimmed so much off and I want to leave the fresh green here, I'm not going to take the cuttings for the enclosure from this area. You guys, that was such a profitable endeavor. Not only is my passiflora incense going to grow back fabulously, I found 2 more caterpillars, so I'm bringing in 4 golf fritillary caterpillars, but I still have no cuttings, so I'm going to get these guys onto the plants in the golf fritillary enclosure, and then we'll go back out and get some cuttings for the new Zebra Longwing enclosure. Okay, these guys are on the move, so I'm just going to see if I can get them to climb onto this cutting here. Don't you love the background noise? Hey, yay, there's one. Is the other one gonna follow the same path? Will he choose to go in that direction? Only time will tell. Oh, there he goes. Go on. No, no, keep going. There you go. There you go. Good job. All right, so I've got 3 on. One of them was on a nice stem, so I just put the stem in, and so now there's 1 more. Here's the little one that was already on the stem. And then look at this, 1 more. He's right on the edge. Let's see. All right, I trimmed off his leaf, so it's a lot easier to maneuver. There we go. Go on. Look, he's got a piece of frass stuck on one of his little spikes. You're thinking too long, sir. Just climb aboard. It's your plant. There you go. No, 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 don't change your mind. On the plant. There you go. Yay. All right, they're all aboard. Whew, that was fabulous, y'all. Fabulous. Okay, I'm going to put them inside. Okay, I'm going to go back over here in the shade garden. The spice bush thicket. Yeah, from our, was it our last video we planted this? I think it was. And because I know, like back, I have to tromp through the rouge plant. Look how pretty it is though, blooming with the little red berries. I love these, love them, love them. There is some vine growth. See there? There's one right there. So I'm just gonna pull some of those out. It'll grow back in here too. I try and get as low down to the ground as I can when I pull it. Get as much as I can. I didn't get very much, but hey, it's something and it'll work. Let me see if I can find some more. I see some more up back in there. All right, let me get back there and get it. Okay, this is a pretty good piece. All right, let's go in and we'll get these set up and see if we can maybe come out and find some more. Okay, first I get one of my favorite kombucha bottles. It's got the perfect size opening for a root riot cube. And these are these. I have them linked below in my Amazon links. I really like using these for certain things. And this is one of them because you got to keep them clipped though, otherwise they'll dry out. Because for this passiflora incense, I'm trying to get more of it growing since we lost so much of it from the hurricane, that I'm doing a double duty is putting the cuttings in here to feed caterpillars, but I also I'm hoping to root some cuttings, so when we're done feeding caterpillars, they'll have little roots and I can grow more to put out in my obelisk trellises. See, twofold. All right, so then I have my little cube here, and what I do is I get a paper towel. This is the Bounty Select-A size. I like the Bounty. Actually, you know what? we're not using Bounty anymore. This is the Target brand Select a Size, and it's just as good, honestly. But I get the little thin one, and I take it and I wrap it around the Root Riot cube like that. And then I take this extension part and I'll just twist it. And since it's super absorbent, paper towel, it acts like a wick. And I stick it down in the water. And this keeps my cube nice and wet, and I don't have to constantly worrying about refilling. Look, the water doesn't even come up to the cube, but because the paper towel is wicking up the water. And then I'll take and I'll hold the Root Riot cube because it fits just like that. And then I'll twist the bottle, and then that'll kind of twist it in there so it's more level and not sticking up. And then I'll take my cuttings. So these are pretty long, and I'll trim them down. So let me start here. There's a nice long stem, right? So I'll trim it here. Clonex gel, get a little bit on it, and then put it in the Root Riot cube. But I don't just do one. I'll do 2 leaves, one, 2, and then trim above that second leaf, and then dip that cutting in the Clonex and put that one in, and then I'll count 2 more leaves, 1, 2, do a cutting. And when I get down to like these little baby guys, I'll leave more than 2 leaves. In the Clonex gel. And in there. And then usually if there's these little frail leaves, these don't usually hold up well, I'll just trim those off. Again, check and make sure there's no eggs. Yeah, we're good. So now I have this nice set of cuttings that will feed caterpillars, and also hopefully some of them will root. So look at all the little frass already that we have collected in here from these guys. Look what's happening here. See? This guy is Jay hanging. And these little friends are bugging him. So I'm gonna move them out of his way. He's like, get away from me. I'm trying to pupate. Come here, sir. Yeah, we'll take you first. Let's put you over here. There you go. See, look, he's nice and calm now. There's another little caterpillar, and they're off to get him with 2 hands. Okay, I took the little guy that was trying to pupate and I moved his whole little stem. So he's kind of over here out of the way where nobody should bother him. Poor little thing. And then everyone else is all settled in. And hopefully we're going to have some gorgeous zebra longwing butterflies flying in my garden. And if you want to see what happens, see if my keeping them a few extra days as butterflies to see if I can get some eggs works, well then you need to subscribe to my channel. Unless you already are, then you're good to go. And while we're talking about that, go ahead and tap the like button. I mean, you've made it this far, you must like the video. I'm gonna go grab a few potted pentas to put in over in this corner so there will be some nectar available for them. I'll be right back. All right, I picked 2 plants. So this one's got some new flowers coming, but it also has some existing. Now, y'all know I have lots of pentas, so if I have to get more, I will. So there we go. Hopefully these little butterflies are going to eclose and flutter around. What I really need is males to eclose first, and that way they can be waiting for the females to eclose so they can do that pupil mating thing. Hey, but it helps their species survive. All right, they're all zipped in and tucked in, and I hope this works out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.